at the heart of this. Where did COP26 go wrong? So I've got a little list to prompt you. Was it the UK leadership of COP26? Was it poor communication by governments and the UN? Was the fossil fuel lobby too strong? Were world leaders just not brave enough? Did the EU, which at the end of the day is 27 countries as a bloc, did the EU underperform? Or fundamentally, were people really just not bothered? Are people, the bulk of the people, just not bothered about wrecking our planet and the future of our children? So, Alvin.
Wow, so much. So where did it go wrong? I think we've got to ask ourselves, we've been doing this now 26 years. And Kyoto Protocol and, say, Paris have been the two things that come out of it. And the last time I was here, I said the real measure of success is found in the Keeling curve, which is the measure of how many carbon emissions are going into the atmosphere. Go have a look at it. It hasn't budged. And in fact, it's accelerated a bit. So where did it go wrong? It went wrong, as it always does and always will do, because of self-interest. So what you have is we are trying to get the entire world to come together to agree to something. And we're bringing the leaders of different countries who want to remain the leaders, and that, you know, particularly democracies that have a 3 to 4 year term before they have to be voted in again. And particularly after COVID as well, everyone's worried about their economy. And the thing that we kind of don't like to talk about, but we have to talk about, is that this transition will cost some people. Okay, there will be impacts and there will be winners and losers, and some countries will lose more than others. Now, because of that, those countries will only move when they can find a way to do that without losing. And so what you have is this kind of national self-interest of preserving the country and its economy and the people in power. And then you're trying to bring them all together to do something for the good of the world. And unfortunately, we are generally short-term. This generation in particular, this idea of individualism and doing things for ourselves and becoming the richest and the best, you know, and at the exclusion and hurt of all others, is something that's very much of that 80s generation, the generation that's come through, my generation, which owes a huge apology already to the generation that's coming, to Marianne's generation. And it is the younger generation that I'm watching, including my son and Marianne, who are looking beyond themselves who seem to be caring beyond themselves. That's where I think the change will come. And unfortunately, I can't see them coming into power for the next 10 to 15 years, but I do see them having influence and growing influence. So I think there'll be some forced changes. But I unfortunately think we'll be relying on the next generation to do this, which means 2 degrees is probably on the cards. 3 degrees is becoming dangerously likely.